what's happening here is that we're doing non-film songs, but they are tending to sound very Bollywood inspired. They're still sounding very, filmy, as I would say. We need to change the sound. The sonics need to change. The writing needs to change.
Hi, my name is Riddhi Chakraborty, and I'm a senior writer and producer at Rolling Stone India. I just had an incredible conversation with Armaan Malik, one of India's rising pop phenomenons, as well as our September cover star. We talked about his expansive music career and making the leap from playback singer to international pop star, representing India on global platforms like Billboard, as well as being inspired by K-pop artists like BTS and EXO to become the next big thing from Asia. Okay, so how are you doing? How was your weekend? Because the shoot was this weekend and I really wish that I could have been there for that, but sadly I missed out because of the whole quarantine. But how did the shoot go? How was like the entire experience?
It was amazing. For every musician, any musician in the world, I think it's just a dream to come on a Rolling Stone cover. So I was pretty nervous before the shoot, but when we went and did all the looks and the whole process was happening, it was pretty chill. We had a lot of fun. I was dancing, singing. We're getting good shots of mine. I'm really excited for this issue and the whole cover. So I'm really pumped.
This was such a good time for you to be on the cover of Rolling Stone India, because I guess we as the youth of India as well are so ready to sort of make the move into seeing an international pop star from our country, and we've been seeing so much conversation about who will that next star be, and you are one of the names. So is artists like Rajakumari. And why do you think like now is the right time for us to make that jump, to that international pop recognition?
India is such an amazing country. It has so much talent, so much culture, and just like how you've seen recently, the K-pop world has blown up globally. I think it's time for India to go, do its thing internationally. Musicians haven't been represented on a global scale before. I mean, a few artists like Rahman sir have, really made a mark in the international space and sphere, but it's never happened that a pop star has taken birth, or, there's an Indian push out to the global world of music. And I've always dreamt of doing this ever since I was 15. I've had this dream of becoming a pop star and doing my thing and, doing things globally. But obviously in India, Bollywood is the mainstay. Bollywood's the big industry here. So I took that route first. And I think it really did me well, because today I have the strength of my fandom and my Armanians, as I call them, to, all of us together kind of take this journey and push my music out internationally. And I think it's the best time for Indian artists to be recognized on a global scale. Things are opening up. People really don't, care where the music is coming from, who the artist is. They just want to hear good music from a good, talented artist. And I think it's the best time to be alive in. So it's pretty special with all that's happened with me and all that's going to happen with me. So being an Indian artist for me is so special at this point in time, because there's so much riding on us as the new wave of musicians from our country. For us, if we do this right, which I hope we do this right, we kind of open up a whole new wave, a whole new pathway for the musicians that follow us to kind of make their name and make their music popular. So I think we're taking that initial risk of breaking through. I've already taken the first step, and obviously there are a million other steps to be taken in that direction. But I'm really glad that finally people are opening up towards India and Indian artists, and very soon you'll see a lot of amazing things happening.
Do you ever feel like a sense of pressure because you are kind of representing our country on such massive international platforms, because even recently you're doing so much more international press, and then you were on top of Billboard's Triller charts. Are you serious? That's like the most incredible thing. And we were all very, very proud of you. So like, is there ever a sense of like, oh my gosh, this is me representing my country? Does that pressure ever like, like bother you?
Um, Honestly, no, I don't have a pressure to kind of, perform better or be like, oh, everything's on me now. If I don't do this right, nothing's going to happen. I don't think on those lines. For me, I've always wanted to do this. This is my dream. And more than just my own journey, it's me taking Indian artists, Indian music, the whole thing kind of just go global. And for me, more than a pressure, it's pride. It's not a pressure for me to be able to be an Indian artist and, like you said, on the Billboard Triller chart, to be amongst such big names from different countries, from US, from Canada, everywhere, and just be like, hey, that's an Indian artist right there. For me, that's such a moment of pride. And obviously, there are going to be expectations in the future, like, you need to do this should happen with you, this should happen with you. And I think I've never let that pressure come on to me, even if it is outward. It might be a lot of people from outside of my circle who might be like, oh, this, that, whatever. But I never let the outside thing affect me. I've always had my vision very clear, and I know what I want to do. And I think it's been working really well up until now. So I just want to keep the momentum going and put out amazing new music for all my fans and all the new fans that will happen to listen to me now.
Speaking of new fans, I actually wanted to, use this interview to highlight how you began your career, because I feel a lot of people are now going to start discovering you and finding out who you
Yeah.
are. So could you tell
Yeah.
me like a little bit about, when you sort of knew you wanted to be a artist, like period, like when did that happen for you? What age were you? And then how did you make your like mark in the industry? How did you begin your first step into the industry rather?
So I was around 8 when I decided I want to take up singing professionally. I didn't decide at that point that I want to, become an artist, because becoming an artist means um, writing your own music, producing your own thing, having control over the whole narrative about your music and how the video is going to be like and stuff like that. And I knew that at that point of time, I didn't have any idea of how that's supposed to be done. But at the age of 8, I kind of realized that I have this talent of music in me, and I want to take this forward and do something with it and do it professionally, not just do it as a hobby. In 2011, I had gone to Berklee College of Music. I'd gotten scholarship to, do a summer program there. That's when I realized that I want to become an artist. That's when I realized I want to write my own songs. I want to tell my own story. And as soon as I returned back from Boston, I started making my own bank of songs and uh, started compiling all of them together, and then took birth the debut album Armaan. I don't know if you know about it, but it was released back in 2014 with Universal Music.
Mm-hmm.
And so after I came back from Berklee, I knew that I had to be an artist. That's my true calling. I wanted to write my own songs, feature in my own videos, which at that point of time in India, not many people were featuring in their own videos. There were only actors and actresses, and singers were just playback singers. But I always had this feeling that, singers need to be known more than just a voice behind the mic. They need to be known as the artist out there. So that's when that germ of an idea happened, and I wanted to go into the whole, as they call it, non-film in India, because we don't really have a separate music industry, because the film industry and the music industry is pretty merged. But now I think that movement is kind of happening, where we are seeing a lot of singles coming out, a lot of non-film stuff coming out and breaking through, and a whole new music industry is kind of forming. But at that point of time, no one was doing albums, singles, and music videos. So I was pretty much very early into the game. Market wasn't too receptive towards it. They were not open to an idea of an artist doing his own songs, singing and featuring the music videos and all. But I always knew this is what I want to do. So from there to now, that whole dream, I'd kind of put it at the back burner, I could say, because I realized, and my dad actually sat me down and told me, Armaan, this is a country where Bollywood is consumed, a lot. And in order to become a successful musician, you would need to become a playback singer. And I was like, no, Dad, I want to sing my own songs and I want to write my own stuff and feature in, music videos and stuff. He's like, yeah, I know you want to do that, but do this first, get some success and create a fan base, and then you can do whatever you want with your original music. So after all these years, now in 2020, I've gotten the chance to do what I really, really wanted to do. I feel like I've come into my own finally, and I'm becoming the artist that I always wanted to be. So for me, since I was a kid, I always knew what I wanted to do. It was never that, oh wait, I can try my hand at doing something else, or like anything non-music related. I always knew I had to become a musician. I had to become a singer. So it is pretty cut out right, uh, right from a young age that this was my thing. I don't know anything else. I'm going to do only this.
I know who you are and I know this about you. And it's like,
Yeah.
I think even throughout our, like time growing up, you've been such a constant in the industry. Like many people would know, like you've done soundtracks for Tare Zameen Par, Bhootnath and all. Like this is stuff we've been listening to even while we're growing up. And a lot of people
Correct.
grew up with you, right? Like it's, for us, it's simultaneous. So I feel you're like the right person to now bridge the gap, right? Between what is the film music, like you said, and becoming like a pop culture, pop scene in India. We haven't really seen that. Do you feel like the same way still about aspiring pop artists? Do you feel that a career in Bollywood is necessary to then become a pop star in India still?
I don't think so now. I don't know why, but like, this year has kind of changed my perspective on things. I kind of realized that, if you have good music and if you have good artistry, if you know what you're putting out there in the world, a lot of people don't, identify who they are. A lot of people ask me, what is the advice you would give to youngsters who are starting out in music? Because I've been doing this since I was like around 7 or 8, and I've seen a whole metamorphosis over the years, being a playback singer and now doing my own pop thing. While I did my own pop thing in between, but now I feel like I'm really doing it, seriously. Over the years, I've realized that, one thing that people don't really know is who they are. They've not identified with themselves. I get asked this question, what is the what is the advice you would give a youngster? And my only advice is, listen, find who you are. Everyone is just trying to be someone else. Everyone's trying to be, hey, I want to be like that singer. I want to become like this one. I'm like, first find out who you want to be. Who are you? What's there inside of you? And I think that discovery is very important for an artist. And at this point of time, I think if a person who knows who he is, knows what kind of music he or she wants to put out, it's the best time. I don't think that a career in Bollywood is necessary to kind of get that pop angle out. Yes, I'm definitely at an advantage with my Bollywood fan base, because a lot of my numbers on social media, wherever, the kind of fans that I have become fans of mine through my Bollywood songs. So I'm not going to negate that I am who I am because of my Bollywood playback singing career. But today, I think the perspective has changed. Today, it's not necessary. At my time, I think when I was kind of doing in 2014, when I was trying to do my own pop album, it wasn't the right time to do it. It wasn't the right environment to do it in. At that point of time, Bollywood was the thing. And from 2014 till now, it was a huge industry from which you can become popular and then try to do something. Like made my name as Armaan Malik in the Bollywood film industry, and then channeled that towards my pop music career. So I think now from here, from 2020 onwards, I don't think that's necessary. I think with a lot of new avenues, a lot of new independent labels are coming up. Artists are creating their own labels, their own imprints. A whole revolution is happening in the Indian music space, and I'm here for it. I really love it. I've waited for this for a very long time, where things would change, where we would have our own music industry, our own pop music. So I think it's the best time right now for an independent artist to just do what he wants to do and not think about, oh, I need to go the Bollywood route to kind of become famous or whatever. Yeah, definitely it'll take some more time to establish yourself as an artist. There's obviously a journey that is involved in making an artist and making that name and credibility in the market. But I don't think you need to start with a Bollywood movie today to kind of catapult you into something. If you have a great song and you have the right channels to push that music out, I think the possibilities are endless.
So I wanted to ask, because I saw a lovely interview that you did earlier this year with Anupama Chopra. I really liked that interview a lot. And you said something quite nice about where you felt like, you needed a change in the music, the kind of music that you were making and the kind of like direction you want to take your career. So Control was kind of the answer to that. So once you released Control and you worked on Control, did you feel a sense of catharsis, a sense of like, okay, like this is something that is igniting the passion for music again in me?
I definitely feel that's what happened. It kind of felt like I came back home and there was a sigh of relief, like, whew, finally it's out there. My original music, stuff that I've written, composed, and it's my baby. So in Bollywood, there's a process where the composer composes the melody, the writer writes the lyrics, and you just come into the studio, cut the vocals, and off you go. That's the process. But I felt it was very impersonal. I mean, even though that process has worked for so many years, I mean, legends have done that process since Mohammad Rafi sir's time or Kishore Kumar sir. All of them have done this. But I've always been the kind who wants to be involved, super involved in the song. Like, what are we saying? What's the story of the song? What's the music video going to be like? What are the beats we're using? Okay, can we put this guitar riff here? Can we put this drum pattern here? I've been a very involved artist. I get to be involved when I work with my brother, Amal. So creatively, I really enjoy doing stuff with him because obviously it's in the house. So for me, I get to give my creative inputs, but otherwise, I don't usually get to do that with other composers and other creators. When I worked on my own song, my own single, like Control, I just had this sense of freedom. I feel like this whole rebirth kind of thing happened to me, which is why also I cleared all my posts on Instagram and started a whole new journey there. It felt like Armaan Malik 2.0. It felt like that. It felt like this was a long time coming. I've hidden this side of mine inside, and I want people to see it. And now is my time to shine, and I want to do this. And when that came out, that feeling was unreal. It was just mind blowing. For me as an artist to have kept that inside of me for so many years, I had to have some other level of patience. And I have had that. I've really been patient with this project and with my my own original music. But now that it's out there, when Control came out, that relief was just crazy. Like you said, it was like a catharsis. I literally saw my song go live, and I was on my bed, and I was like, whew, thank God it's out there. And that's my first song out there. And it literally felt like my first song. I've released 200 plus songs in the past across languages.
Wow.
But I never felt like what I felt with Control. When Control came out, I felt like I'm doing my very first song, like my first songs out there in the world. That's the kind of excitement I had. That's the kind of feeling I was experiencing. So it definitely felt very special.
How involved were you in the process of the music video? Because it was so cool and it went like super viral and everyone was just, oh my god, like to see Armaan Malik all sexy and everything in a music video was the best thing ever. So how did you come up with the concept, and like were you involved with like, you know, the direction, the wardrobe, like everything? What was that process
For
like?
sure. I was, like I told you, Riddhi, I'm very involved with all my music. I've always wanted to be involved. This is the first time I actually got to be involved so much. Be it the styling, be it the storyline, I was pretty much from the word go, I was on it. And Bobby Hannaford, who directed the video, you won't believe it. We talked about the whole song concept like 2 days before the video shoot.
Wow.
And yeah, it was all cut to cut. And I just finished completing the video and I came to Bombay and the lockdown happened. I mean, if I hadn't gone and shot the video in such a haste, we wouldn't have Control's music video. So for me, I think everything happens for a reason. The way it happened was quite fast and I couldn't process many things, but I was very involved in every department. Um, the whole imagery, the whole styling of the video was me taking a departure from this whole cute boy thing that I had going for me. I think for a long time, people have seen me as this romantic boy next door kind of vibe. And while I have the side to me which people haven't seen, and I wanted people to get that, get a peek into that, kind of dark, sexy vibe to me, which I have, but I don't show as much because I'm not, I didn't know how to go about it before, and I didn't have the right song to go with it. I think Control was the perfect song to bring that side out. And a lot of people ask me, what's the one thing that you feel that you did in this song, in this video, that kind of set it apart from what you've done? So I'll say the only thing that I feel kind of was a game changer for the video was that one strand of hair on my forehead. I keep joking about this all the time. It may seem like a very simple thing, but I felt like it changed the whole look and feel of the music video. It got this whole brooding, sexy vibe to it, and showed a new Armaan Malik that people hadn't seen before. So all thanks to the hair, I think the Control music video, all the success goes to that one strand.
That one strand of hair. Do you want to do more like, you know, like sexier music videos like this, or what is sort of like your vision for the artist you are, like visually? Like I want to know in terms of music videos, photo shoots, what do you have in mind for the future?
Okay, so through the process of doing my English music and international music, and even shooting for the Rolling Stone cover, I realized that I have this intense side to me that a lot of people haven't really seen. And when you see the pictures, you'll know how intense it has been. I think with my music and my whole artistry, I'm trying not trying actually. I'm also in a phase where I've outgrown that cute boy thing. Um, I think I was growing with my fans. I was growing from teen bop era into kind of a young adult vibe. Even as I kind of grow and have experiences, I think me as a person, I've evolved over the years. So for me now, it's very natural to kind of do these kind of songs where there's a little bit of a sexy element to the music video. Not all videos will have that because each song has a different narrative. You can't really be sexy in a sad song. I mean, you can, but have like undertones of it. Like maybe the styling could be sexy or whatever. But I think, yeah, from here on, I have this vision of me as an artist where it's not going to just be, it's not going to be cheesy pop teen boy next door kind of vibe. It's going to be mature. It's going to be intense. And even though I'm 25 and I still look 19 or 20 to a lot of fans, which works in my to my advantage. But it's going to have this intense, mature vibe to the songwriting, to the visuals, everything. It's gonna have that vibe. It's not gonna be in the teen pop space for sure. That's not my sound. That's not the artist I'm wanting to be. It's for me. I've always musically. I love Charlie Puth. I think he's been my biggest inspiration as a musician. I think he's a complete musician. He produces his own songs, writes them, obviously stacks all the vocals himself. So it's musically, I always loved that direction, the world that he's in. He's got these really cool, um, synth pop vibe to him, where he's inspired by 80s R&B and has Michael Jackson influences. So I would kind of not. I'm not trying to be someone in that space, but I feel like my musicality is in that kind of vibe. I can't do teen pop. It's not my vibe. A lot of people, expect when you do an English song, it's going to be all happy, chirpy, all colors happening. I don't think that's going to be my vibe for my English music and my international music. It's going to be more intense, more passionate. It also, I'm not going to put a lot of intimate scenes. My fans don't really know me as that kind of guy, and I've never been like that on screen. But yeah, it's going to be all good for all the fans. They can see the videos.
Tell me, like, in terms of your plans for 2020, what more are we going to expect? What's brewing? Tell us a little bit about your plans for the rest of the year.
So I'm working on two projects for my English stuff. One is obviously my big single that I've been planning to put out. So Next to Me kind of wasn't my second single. I never planned to put out Next to Me. It happened because I felt it so strongly during lockdown, so I wanted to just put it out. But the second single, I'm planning to put it out very soon. Shoot a music video for it as well. Let's hope the lockdown helps us shoot a good music video. And I'm doing an international collaboration as well. So I'm pretty excited for that. The fans have an inkling of a big collaboration happening. So yeah, very excited.
You have to tell me now a little bit about your international collaboration and how that's been going, because I had to talk to you about this.
I can actually, I don't mind revealing. I think I can just say it's a big Asian collab.
Yeah, I mean, I know who it is, so, but
I'm going to say it on record. It's a big Asian collab. That's it.
Awesome. Very, very exciting. I think you are someone who is like even you said, exploring, pathways that a lot of Indian artists haven't done before. And you've always been somebody who's been very determined to carve, your own identity, your own legacy in the industry. Yep. How did you start on that path? Because you also come from such a prestigious family in the music industry in India. So when you began your career, what was your game plan in terms of, I need to sort of forge my identity as Armaan before the Malik?
It all started when I was 9 years old and I was auditioning for Saregama Little Champs. Saregama is a huge platform, and I think for any Indian singer, the biggest actually have been associated with that platform, be it Sonu ji, be it Shreya Di. I think all of us have had that Saregama connection in some way or the other. So when I went on to that show, I obviously belong to such a illustrious family, but I never wanted that to weigh me down or let people make a judgment on me because of me being from this family. I submitted my name as Armaan from Mumbai. That's it. I never gave my surname in. I didn't want to have any kind of thing like where people are like, oh, you belong from this family and you'll get it easy or whatever it is. Those are the kind of things that everyone thinks of when you come from a family. And actually, it's because of the fact that they realized that I was from this musical family that I was eliminated. to be honest. I got eliminated from the show saying कि आपको आगे काम मिल ही जाएगा. So I was like, hey, I mean, I came up till top 10 on my own metal. I worked my way up from the auditions to, you know, the final rounds. And now you guys, you know, say कि आपको आगे काम मिल ही जाएगा. I was very young at that point of time to understand what that actually meant. But I think my mom took the mic and said, I think in a few years you'll meet a different Armaan. And I think that confidence from my mom that made me realize that I need to create my own identity, my own musical identity in this world, which is not Armaan from the Malik family, but Armaan Malik standalone identity. As soon as that show ended, I made a demo CD of mine and I went to different composers, gave them my CDs and said, you know, hey, this is how I sing. I sing in English as well. At that time, I was singing in English a lot as well. So Hindi songs, English songs, I told them, this is how I sing. If you have anything for me, let me know. And I started my own little struggle, you know, going to different people, making sure that people know that this is how I sing and this is what I'm capable of. And that's where the whole journey began, where I reached out to a lot of people with my work. And when people don't know that journey, people always feel like, oh, you know, Dabu Malik's son, Anu Malik's nephew, someone must have put a word somewhere and he must have gotten an easy chance and whatever. But people don't know this side of mine. I actually waited for a lot of time outside of people's studios with my demo CDs, waited to go in. And at that point of time, I never introduced myself as, you know, being this one's son or whatever. And I've never sung for either my uncle or my dad until like 2 years back. My family's identity as musicians is a separate identity. They've done their music. They have their own legacy. What am I going to leave onto this world? What is my legacy? What will, you know, 50 years hence or 60 years hence, when kids hear my music and they'll be like, hey, that's his musical legacy. What am I leaving for the world?
Do you feel like, you know, now you've made it? Does that sort of register in that sense? Or do you feel there's...
No, there's no made it in my dictionary. That word does not exist, because if I kind of have that in my head, then I'll become complacent. I don't want to become complacent. I don't want to stop here. I've not come this far only to come this far. There's a lot more to go in my journey. There's a lot more. There's so much more. I have so many dreams, and they're like very, very huge. I can't even like, you know, I have like 100 things that I want to achieve. And, you know, this is like my first step. I will only have that thought when I kind of be like, okay, I'm done with my singing career. I've made it. that's when I'll say I've made it. Like, I feel like a different, you know, life will start after that. But until then, it's going to be, I'm very goal driven. There's just so many goals in front of me. I want to check all those boxes.
Let's talk a little bit about K-pop, because it cannot be.
Sure.
Yeah, you and I have a conversation and then we don't talk about K-pop, because like I think it's been on Twitter and stuff for like about a year. We have been sort of like, you know, like tweeting, sharing, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
I want to know, and this is something that a lot of, you know, even your fans and like even my team was curious about, was like, when did you sort of find the K-pop industry, and like which artists did you sort of connect with at the start?
I was on a flight from Mumbai to Dubai, and it was an Emirates flight, and I was getting bored of seeing movies. So I went to the music section. I was seeing like, what can I hear? You know, from another country. I was like, Hindi music sun liya, English I've heard. Let's see some other. So I went to K-pop because I had heard like K-pop was, you know, popping. But it was just the beginning, I think, where people were just starting to understand about K-pop and the whole world there. I came across this album called 13th The Unchanging by Shinhwa. There's a group called Shinhwa. Yeah. I think they are one of the first, the early boy groups to have been formed in K-pop. And that I got to know about that later when I read up on them. But when I heard, that album, and there were a few songs, I don't remember the titles that clearly, but I was blown away. It was so emotional. It was so lyrical. Even though I didn't understand one word, I could understand the flow of things. I could understand the emotion behind it, and that's where I first connected with K-pop. Fast forward a few years, I hear about all these amazing groups coming out of Korea. There was EXO, there was BTS, and there are girl groups as well. I think Blackpink. Yeah, Blackpink is really famous now. But at that point of time, I only delved into EXO. I don't know. I was attracted towards their music for some reason, and Chen, that guy is a great vocalist. So for me, I'm always searching artists who inspire me, who really sing amazingly well, somewhere where I can learn from as well. For me, I never listen to someone for casual listening. I'm always listening to learn, and that's what kind of happened with me. And when I heard EXO songs, that's where I got to know that there's a whole side of K-pop which has ballads, um, which are not just about the whole upbeat, dancey, up-tempo stuff. And I've always been like this ballad guy. Like I've been singing romantic songs in Bollywood for the longest time. So I kind of connected to that ballad zone, and I feel they're so beautiful. The way they compose it, the way they arrange it. That's where my love for EXO and the music happened. BTS really, I think in the last 2 years, really rose to superstardom with all the new albums they were putting out. They were doing features and collabs with different artists. They did a song with Love. That's when I, got to know more about them. Then they did a collaboration with Halsey.
Yeah.
So Boy With Love, right?
Boy
That's
With
what it
Love.
was called. Yeah, Boy With Love. And then obviously I heard some of their songs, and Jamai's Woo is one of my favorite songs from them. I really like that song. So that's where I started discovering these artists and knowing what their world is like, what their music is like. And then seeing the music videos was definitely a highlight for me. Um, the way they project, the way they choreograph, the way this whole cinematography is, the way they shoot it, it's so cool. Like I don't think that anyone does music videos better than the K-pop industry. They just nail it. They just know how to shoot a kick-ass video. And then Dynamite happened. I think that just sealed the deal. In terms of K-pop, I think it's amazing what they've done. Honestly, in such hard times, when you listen to something so upbeat and so up-tempo and so uplifting, it just makes you feel so good. And they've done such a big thing. They've come number one on the Billboard charts on their debut. So I think it's unbelievable how they have created this whole outlet for Asian artists to kind of go international. Somewhere I feel like they've been path breaking. All the K-pop artists, be it EXO, be it BTS, be it Blackpink, all of them. And then I'm sure there are so many other groups as well that I may not know of, but all of them have done such incredible work to create that pathway for Asian acts, Asian stars, Asian artists to be recognized on a global platform or in the West. And now I think it's India's time. So it's gonna be amazing, the journey from here on, for all of us as well. And I think uh, it's beautiful that Asians are being represented by such amazing artists, on the global sphere.
Why is it so important, like you said, with the representation, the Asian representation that we are getting from BTS and the K-pop
Yeah.
industry as whole? Why is it so important, for young people to see themselves represented on these platforms like Billboard, like, all the international publications and things like that? Why does it mean so much?
For all of us, we're not working towards winning a Grammy. We all are working towards making great music and having fans. And I think even BTS or EXO and all these people, their main driving force is the fans who consume their music. The kind of records they set or the kind of awards they get, that's a byproduct of the love that the fans show for them. But I don't think any artist has a goal of like, oh, I want this award. No one goes with a goal in the mind that, hey, I want to achieve this award. They go with the goal that I want to make a great song and I want the song to be loved by fans. I think that is the basic thing for all artists. But yes, these things, be it coming on the Billboard charts, be it winning a Grammy, winning all these amazing awards, these definitely boost your enthusiasm and your morale to do even more better and push the envelope and kind of do 100 times better than what you did in the last song or last project. When Asians do it at such an international level, we haven't seen a lot of Asian artists breaking through internationally. And for the first time, we're witnessing history when it comes to the K-pop acts doing this. And my dream is to get India up there on the global platform. Being an Indian musician, I think nothing could be nothing could make me more happier than being represented on such a big platform. It means so much for the country.
It's like this thing, this declaration that yes, we exist, we are also making music, and we also deserve like a day in the sun, you know what I
For
mean? Where
sure.
it's like,
For
yeah, like
sure.
everyone in the world sort of recognizes that about the country and about the artists
Yeah.
from nations.
I think we've always been very limited to our local music and local markets. We've never gotten that global exposure, and finally that's happening, and it's history. It's amazing. It's beautiful what's happening, and which is why, when coming back to your first question, what you asked me, why do you think it's the right time for India? I think it's the right time for India because Asians are really putting us on the map, and it's high time that an Indian artist takes this pathway that Koreans and K-pop people have done, and kind of get our country up there. Because I think all of us are in it. All of us have that same passion, same goal. All of us want to make our country proud. So I think it's the perfect time for India to do something, and uh, I wish to do it.
And you will. Is there anything that you feel is still maybe holding us back in any way, or are we just sort of like still too wrapped up a little bit in our local film industries and things like that? Like, is there anything that
I
you
don't think
feel?
so. It's probably, I think, a lack of artists who are doing more of pop stuff. A lot of people are doing singles, no doubt, but no one's doing a pop single. What's happening here is that we're doing non-film songs, but they are tending to sound very Bollywood inspired. They're still sounding very, filmy, as I would say. We need to change the sound. The sonics need to change. The writing needs to change. I think the more artists start working on creating a good Hindi pop sound, which is different from film music. It can't be the cousin of Bollywood music. That can't happen. It needs to have its own identity. So I think that is what is missing. Otherwise, I think we have a lot of amazing talent, a lot of amazing singers who look good as well. So I think that's really important, because when the personality comes out, people want to see the whole package. They want to see them dancing, singing, acting, or whatever it is. So we have a lot of pop stars, bubbling pop stars. It's just about the right direction, the right kind of music, and right kind of packaging and artistry. That's it.
You're very open with like how you speak to us on social media and your life and sharing so much. Is there ever like any, danger that you think to share that much of your life, for the entire world to see?
apart from my personal life, like about who I'm dating or whether I'm in a relationship, those are things that I don't prefer to share, because I feel like that's the 1% of my life that belongs to me, and not everyone should have access to it. So I have this whole system in place where that 1% is for me and 99% is for the fans and for the public and for everyone who views me outside. And I'm pretty organic, pretty genuine. Who I am right now talking to you is the same person I am on social media, same person when you meet me in person. I don't have different personas, different personalities when I'm in different situations. It's pretty much the same. I'm not scared. I like being real. I like being honest, and it's part of why people and fans gravitate towards me. I think the reason my fans like me is because, in a sense, I am accessible. In a sense, they have a friend in me. In some sense, I get DMs where people are talking about their issues to me, and I sometimes give them solutions, and I have that relationship with some of my fans, and I think it's beautiful to have that. I think on this planet we have come to help each other become better people, and even though I'm an artist and even though they are my fans, I've never had that artist fan, distance or difference. I think I'm very heart to heart with my fans, and that's part of who I am as a person, and I have no problem being so close to them.
From when you were younger, like when you began your career to now, do
Yeah.
you feel you sort of, met the vision that you set for yourself as an artist, like the artist you wanted to be?
For me, just life has come full circle in so many ways, and even though I have performed for thousands of people, um, done concerts like more than around 300 concerts up until now, it still feels new for me. It still feels like a very fresh experience. Now when I start doing my international tours, I'll be going and meeting different fans who never knew anything about me, who will discover me as a very fresh artist, as Armaan Malik, as an artist who they never knew and they want to know. So I think those are new experiences. So I'm glad, like I feel like one chapter has come to a close and a new chapter has begun for me. Like I said, this is Armaan Malik 2.0.
And how do you hope that Armaan Malik 2.0, the artist you are today, crafts the
Yeah.
Armaan Malik of tomorrow?
I think best time till I close this chapter and start a very new one. But I will evolve over the years, because as you grow older, you gather new experiences, you become a different person. So I will definitely evolve. The artist of tomorrow is not going to be very different from what I am right now, because I feel like I'm still growing. I'm still learning a lot of things. But the artist inside of me is going to be constant. It's not going to change. Uh, you know, overnight. It's definitely going to take a process of me going through a lot of different, uh, you know, things in my career. I mean, you don't know. I can't really answer that for you. You never know who you are tomorrow. But I definitely do know that a part of me has accepted the fact that this part of my life is done, where I was a child singer. I did my playback singing. I, performed on a reality show. I was a judge on a reality show. All that happened for me. That is one part of my life where now a whole new phase is beginning, where I'm kind of redoing some of the things that I've already done, but in a very new perspective. Now, if it's Filmfare Awards, tomorrow it might be the VMAs or the Grammys. I mean, those are the kind of different experiences I will have. Even though I've done award nights before, but this is going to be a whole new level for me. It's going to be a step above. So I'm really looking forward to what's in store for me, and I embrace it with positivity.